what you've all been waiting for. From the producers of The Frown comes a moment in time, an exclusive look inside the making of The Frown.
Yes, I can be hard to turn
Because
on.
that's always the problem, they forget to turn it on.
Right, well, sometimes I need to go ahead.
Not always, sometimes.
So how did you meet?
Is this on? Is very good. I was dating Diana's older sister, Sarah.
My grandmother, who was Lady Fenmore, is a very close confidant of the Queen Mother.
And Sarah, well, she did not end up being the one.
Unfortunately, for Sarah, Charles wasn't the one. In any event, it was Sarah who introduced us.
I play Cupid.
The Frown.
Yes, we actually met at the home of a friend of the Duke of Edinburgh.
Charles, I think you are mistaken.
I was not in love with him. I wouldn't marry anyone that I wasn't in love with. I don't care if you're the King of England or a dustman. I married Neil Edmund McDuckadoyle. McKirkadoyle.
Go on.
Yes, I believe it was Althor. Yes, it was definitely Althor.
Seriously, no, darling. It was we met in the middle of a huge romantic cloud field.
Oh, right, yes. I was visiting to take part in a pheasant shoot.
Unfortunately for those pheasants.
Amazing white sand, though. Amazing. The little ones who built so many sand castles down there.
He looked so lonely there, all by himself there.
But she was so much fun, it was infectious.
It might have been the booze talking there.
But anyways, I invited her to Balmore, where she could spend more time with my family.
I must have impressed them to some regard.
I mean, how could she not?
Our grandmother, Countess Cynthia Spencer, and Ruth Roche, who was the Baroness of Fermoy, they were the ladies in waiting for the Queen Mum.
They loved her.
Yes, we moved to Park House, and that was in Sandringham.
Yes, and but that was Mummy's estate. The Spencers rented from Mummy.
Yes, that's actually true. It was there that I blocked it out, because Mummy was a terrible romantic, and when Daddy didn't pay attention to her, she had this horrible affair, and so Daddy was devastated, and so Mummy couldn't live with us anymore, and so it was very sad when Grandad died, and so eventually that's when we, thank you, darling, that's when we moved to Althorpe, and at Althorpe, Daddy remarried the lovely Rain, the Countess of Dartmouth.
In Dartmouth, yes.
Oh yes, well, and I must say that it is a bit less romantic than meeting in a large, open, beautiful cloud field.
Oh, yes, I must admit. I mean, once the pheasants are sort of running about, it can be quite exciting.
We didn't officially start dating until I moved to London with Sarah. And then, of course, we got married, we had lovely children, I had postpartum depression. I took a very horrible interview with BBC that nobody in the royal family liked. And then, of course, I accidentally died.
The Frown.
But Lord Mountbatten was very encouraging to me, and then he died. And I realized shortly after that I would never truly be king.
The Frown.
I was assassinated.
The Frown.
Yes, but not at that shooting party. That was separate.
There's no one dying at that party that we met. That was actually quite fun.
The Frown.
I know, I should have never introduced them.
The Frown. You won't want to miss this one.
I never wanted to get married or cut my hair short.
I've always wanted to have bangs. If anyone has any help, please call me. I have a private line. It's 101-832-968-3949 and ask for Sam. That's another name I go by.
It all started way before Charles and I were even born. You see, I was born at Park Place. And then there was one.
On a Monopoly.
No, yes, the Monopoly table.
Seinfeld.
Oh yes, that's very humorous.
Which one?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry
A lot of people don't
Seinfeld.
realize how
Oh,
much
with the
TV.
racist on it.
No, he's not racist.
Oh, not Jerry, the neighbor.
Kramer.
Kramer.
Yes, Michael Richards,
yes.
in person, he's